blog. Today we're going to talk about discrimination in this nation. Listen, one of the first things that people read about France is that it was the place where poor people, hundreds of years ago, fought to be free of hunger, deprivation, isolation, and marginalization. What happened? They were inspired in many ways by the great thinkers of the 18th century, known as the Enlightened Age. They were inspired by, and they inspired our own revolution. France's revolution was extremely radical. There were enormous changes that, in fact, were so top-heavy that eventually the revolution failed. In any case, many people feel that France has inherited all of these revolutionary attitudes, and they look back at a time when France had a large and powerful communist party. French communist leaders were in touch with communist leaders around the world. Where there was great thinkers here in France, there were great thinkers here in France, such as Jean-Paul Sartre and others, who supported communism. What does that all give? What does that give us? That gives us an idea of a nation that we think is extremely left-wing. Left-wing in such ways that they give everything back to the people. They share everything with the people. French people are supposed to be these left-wing people who live off, I've heard some very harsh criticism, actually, watching English-speaking news broadcasts from the United States, such as Fox News and the Riley Report, where they've heavily criticized the French people as lazy, as opportunists, saying that France is a nation where they're benefiting from, poor people are benefiting from the richest, from the state's riches. That's not the case. I want to tell you that the motto of equality, liberty, and fraternity, which is what everyone knows France by, frankly, doesn't really exist. I hate to tell you that. This nation is supposedly based on solidarity, but living here, as I have said, I've lived here for 4 years, and I visited for years and years, and I have not really seen solidarity. I've seen extremely high rates of poverty. I've seen hunger, such as we don't have anymore. Just going back to what I was saying, I've seen hunger, I've seen homelessness. Whenever French people would talk to me about my nation, they would deplore the horrible living conditions that take place in America. But as I said, living here in France, it's just as bad. They're homeless people. But the problem is that whereas we in America, we're a wealthy nation, and who knows how long our riches will last. But at this time, we have an enormous amount of surplus. Homeless people are often helped by charitable organizations. Here in France, that's simply a myth. I want to talk to you about the high levels of discrimination, high level of marginalization. France is a country that's based on solidarity. That is all for one and one for all. The reality is that this country is highly stratified. That means that there's some people at the top, and there's many more at the bottom. At the top, when people drop out of France's circle of opportunity, what happens is there is no safety net.